Yo, I am live. Welcome. Welcome to Futures Trading, free class, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Thanks for joining. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to join, get on board. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to have some fun. If you know me, it's all about people and fun. So, let me set the tone. Bring a little music into it for a second. Hope you had an amazing day. Hope you're ready to learn. I got a lot to teach, a lot to cover. It's going to be a really good, great training class. I never know what to call these. Everything's a master class in 2022. All right. Gotta have mastery to make a master class. Everybody doesn't have mastery over their subject matter. Not everybody. Those 10,000, 20,000 hours of grind, everybody doesn't have that. So, whether you're watching on my personal Facebook page, my YouTube channel, this is being streamed live across 5 different places. Do me a favor right now. Tag somebody that you know that needs to just digest something new. I know we all watched Ozark. We binge Ozark. We binge shows. We consume content. But this type of content can literally change your life. It changed mine. So tag somebody. Please tag somebody that you want to watch this with you. Now you can watch it later, but y'all are here watching it live. So kudos to you. Let me see, where you guys at? Where you from? I'm in Atlanta. I'm from Gary, Indiana. We'll learn a little bit about me a little bit later. But where are you from? Where you at? See, Jessica tagged Yasmin Wallace. She also tagged Stephanie Gomez. Thank you. Matthew. Hopefully Matthew will hop on. Ronnie. Hopefully Ronnie will hop on. Garnell said, thank you for doing this. Yeah, man, not a problem at all. It's my pleasure. It's part of my purpose, part of my gifts. I just got to give the stuff that's in me out. You know what I mean? Let's see. Andrea, tag Little Rock. I don't know who Little Rock is, but cool. Stanford. Hopefully Stanford will hop on too. I appreciate that. I really do. Because this is the type of information, y'all, you don't get it from somebody with as much experience as me. And I was about to say you don't get it off YouTube. I'm about to put this on YouTube. But you know how it is. A lot of educators just kind of popped up in the last 2 years. Where were they before COVID? Y'all better ask some questions, spending that hard-earned money. Let's see. Chucktown, South Carolina. That's what's up. Where you guys from? Where else? Somebody tag Rudy. Hopefully Rudy will hop on, whoever Rudy is. Darren. Hopefully Darren will hop on too. I like to say people's names. Fayetteville. What's that? AR, Arkansas? That's what's up. Thanks for joining. We're going to have a good time. Demetria January. Futures. She tagged Futures. Hashtag Futures. Yeah, we're going to have a good time. And this soundboard just changed my life. So y'all got to pardon me. I'm going to have some fun with my soundboard. I'm going to have some fun. Teaching shouldn't be boring. Learning shouldn't be boring. I'm cool with educating and entertaining a little bit, bringing in, music, culture, things we know to just make it more palatable, make this more digestible. So it's 8:04. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me get my slides up again. Which one do I want to go with? Yeah. I'm bringing the music down. I'm going to leave it going though. Okay, so thank you for joining me. This is Noble Woods, the third, with the MBA. I got to put the MBA. I'm sorry, y'all paid too much. I went through too much hell to get that MBA. You're going to see that everywhere you see my name from here out. I ain't trying to brag or nothing. It's not. It was well earned. Right? I went through a lot. So I'm going to keep my little letters on my on everything I do. So what we're going to talk about tonight The reason you're joining me is we're going to talk about futures. So I'm going to answer some questions. What are futures? Got to give you a little history, got to give you some background, right? I have to also, let me pop this up real quick. I have to also make sure you understand why you can make or lose money a lot faster. Why can you make or lose money faster with futures? What is it about futures? And I want to make some connections for those of you guys who are maybe you're brand new and you're just here to learn. That's cool. It's totally cool. Maybe you're already trading and you're like, I don't know too much about futures. I want to learn more. Or you might be that very the smallest minority, the minority of anybody watching are the people who are like, hey, I tried futures, man. I got my butt whooped. I don't know too. Nah, I need some, I need some help. I want to learn how to actually do this the right way. So whether you're a little experienced, killing futures killed you, you don't even know what they are, or you maybe trade options, forex, crypto, and you're like, I don't really know too much about futures. This is for you. This is for you. Let's see who else I got. My guy Andre Key. What up, Andre? Dre? So let's get it, blood, and yeah, keep adding them letters. Oh, you know I am. Somebody said that's me. I don't know who. I don't know which part was it. That's me, but that's what's up. Don, hey from the DMV. What's up, Don? See who else I got. I got Ty from Mayetta. Somebody said what's good, bro. What's good, bro? Okay, cool. So I got a good amount of people on. So let's just get moving. So once again, we're gonna talk about what are futures. Why can you make money so fast? Why can you lose it so fast? I'm not one of these people who $1,000 a day. You see somebody advertising with a number amount that you can make every day. Yeah, you better be careful. You never hear me telling you and promising how much you're gonna make. I don't know how much you can make. I don't know how disciplined you are. I don't know how much money you have. I don't know how much peace is in your home. If you fighting with your wife, your boo, your spouse every day, trading's gonna be hard for you. This is stuff we don't talk about, right? So I don't do that. I try to keep it as real as possible. When I found this years ago, I realized that this could this could pave a different path for my future, and it has. And it took a lot to get here. I just want to give you guys the opportunity to learn more about futures trading because it's just not talked about often. That's all. And I got a class coming up, so whoop-de-doo, let's get that out the way. At the end, I'm going to, yes, give you an opportunity to think about signing up for a really, really powerful class. Yes. But some of you guys want that and need it. So this is not some really, it's not a sales pitch at all. It's not. It's not. You're going to learn a lot. And once again, if you just learn a little bit more about futures and you're like, oh, I know what they are, that's cool. My job was accomplished. So we got to talk about the risk. We'll talk about the risk a little bit. Who should know how to trade futures? We'll talk about that a little bit. What's the buying power? Oh, the buying power. How does it make fast money? This connects back to the second question. I got to talk about the buying power. It's gonna blow you away when it sinks in what futures really are. You're gonna be like, for real. You gonna love it. And then how do you get started? So I'm gonna fade the music on out. This thing is so fun. I'm like a DJ. It's like I get to be a DJ. Okay. So we got to start with a little bit of history first, right? I got to give you guys a quick history lesson. Quick history lesson. Let's go all the way back. All the way back. Where are we going? Feudalistic Japan. We're going to feudalistic Japan. 1700s. Pretend my dynasty was fighting your dynasty. We were at war. Guess what happens when dynasties are at war? Somebody wins. Somebody wins, right? And so, if my dynasty won and beat yours, guess what's going to happen? You already know what's going to happen. We're going to take over the main export, the main value, the rice crops. That's what we're going to take over. All right. So, as we're at war and we're fighting, and it was brutal, and these wars were bloody. A lot of people died. That's what happened. But here's the beauty. My dynasty, if we won, and of course mine would have won, guess what? You're going to worship our gods now. You're going to worship our statues. We're going to take over your entire country, right? If my dynasty beats your dynasty. And this is what happened in feudalistic Japan. So what also happened is we're going to take over the rice crops. Yeah, we're going to take over that, man. Export. So my guy here, as you can see in the middle, is my uncle. My uncle is out there working hard during the wet season, right? Why? Trying to make sure that the crops come in. The wet season comes in. The weather patterns they were trying to like slowly figure out. It's actually where, if you know anything about candlesticks, like Japanese candlesticks, the candlesticks themselves it came from Japan. They studied weather patterns and they connected weather patterns with price. I can't do the whole history right now, but that's where, Japan, Japanese candlesticks, right? We use candlesticks to trade every day. Do you even know where they come from? You should. So this is what would happen though. You would come to the market one day. You would come to the market one day, and it's real busy. And you're looking for rice, not any of these beans. You're like, where's the rice? Where's the rice? You walk up to me or somebody from my dynasty who was selling the rice, and you're like, hey, I'd like to buy some rice today. And they're like, sorry, bro. There's none left. But if you pay today to lock in your price, when we do get the rice, when we grow it, when we get our next, harvest, you'll be able to get it for the price you got it today. So you'll get it in the future. You'll get the rice in the future. You'll get that asset, this thing that you want. You will get it in the future. Ah, okay. Starting to come together. Starting to come together. Hand clap for good teaching. You with me so far? Yeah. Okay. I told you I love this thing. So let's talk about modern day future. So what's a really good example of? And so let me tell you this too. Before we get to like the technical stuff, because some of you guys are like, okay, give me the math. Like, I want to know, how can I make money? How does it work? Give me the money. No, got to slow you down. Got to actually teach the way you should be taught. You need to know the history just a little bit. You need to get it conceptually first. Because if I jump straight into the definition, you'd be like, no, but what the hell does that mean? If I jump straight to the technical definition, which I'm going to, but this is how I learn to teach. Oh, you know what? Where's that second one? Um, oh, hold on one second, y'all. Wait, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Um, go back here for a second. Oh, there we go. You know what? I skipped the slides where I talked about just told you who I am. I skipped those slides. I didn't mean to. So let me do that really quick. Let me do that really quick, just so you kind of know who I am. Let me do that really quick. My bad. I was like, wait a minute. I was thinking as I was talking, which is crazy, but I think that can't happen. So before I get to the practical definition, let me just step back for a second. My bad. I meant to do this first. You always want to introduce to your audience who you are and why you're able to teach what you're teaching, right? So I got my MBA from Clark Atlanta University. Shout out to all my HBCU graduates. I got my bachelor's in science and marketing from Indiana University. 02. Graduated from Clark 08. I was working making six figures for the first time in my life. For the first time in my life, that MBA paid off, baby. I was working at Bank of America. I was starting to learn about investing. A lot of people were asking me questions. I was on a management team where we managed like 35, 40 branches, stores, they call them now. And I didn't love banking. No, I didn't love banking. I wanted to be like a brand manager at Apple or something like that, working in innovation and marketing. Yeah, I wasn't gonna turn down 90 some $1,000 though. Right. 94.5 was my first salary. I'm not turning that down. I'm not turning that down. And so I was like, okay, cool. All right. So I went to work at Bank of America. I actually fell in love with what I was learning because I was seeing such a big macro 300,000 people work at Bank of America. That's like what what percentage is that? That's like 1% of America. Is that right? It's like 300 something million. Anyway, y'all do the math. That's a lot of people. That's a huge corporation, right? So I was working in checking operations. To give you the really, really fast story, I met a cousin that I didn't know, cousin-in-law. Some of you guys know my cousin Joel. I met Joel. I was looking for my first home. He was my real estate agent. I was like, yo, what do you want to do? Something. I pull out my phone. I think I'm smart with my MBA. I'm looking at, some of the stocks that I had started investing in. And he was like, "Yeah, I trade futures, so we can like go out and look at homes whenever you want to." I was like, "Futures? Futures? The hell is what the heck are futures?" Right? I didn't know what he was talking about. We became best friends. I wanted to learn. I spent a ton of time learning. I actually I learned enough about futures to realize I wanted to learn how to actually trade them. And from what I thought back there, I didn't realize you can start with 4 or 5. I didn't realize you could start as low. I thought I needed like 25,000 to start, right? To start actually trading. So I was paper trading on a practice account every single day for 9 months as if it was real money. And at first I was terrible. Went to this conference in Vegas by myself. It was all these day traders. I didn't know what they were talking about, but I was just absorbing and learning. I was reading all these classic books, just any and everything I could read about trading. I literally became obsessed, which is why I'm here today still, right? And my dad passes away, leaves me and my sister some money, $50,000. I can say it's $50,000. That was that half, that 25,000 that I didn't know was coming, right? So luckily I had practiced, y'all practiced for 9 months, and it was not real. And that took a lot of discipline, but I was very serious about this market or any market changing my future. So I want to just capture that. If you're like, I would never, I can't paper trade for 9 months. This probably isn't for you. Trading as a lifestyle is probably not for you because you have to prepare. Too many people just with COVID just jumped in the market. You just open a Robinhood account and just start trading options with no real information on how it works. Okay. It's a recipe for disaster. You got to get educated. It's part of the game with anything, right? So, my very first trade, it was like 3 in the morning because you can trade at 3 in the morning. I was in the trade. I was nervous. I went to the bathroom. I came back. I saw like 800 on my P&L. I just hit the button to get out. I was so happy. I made like $675 in like 5 minutes. I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this thing? Right? What is this thing called futures? Is right. So I realized I wanted to learn more. I kept reading. I realized there were not a lot of books. So me and my cousin, man, for a couple years, we were just trading, making, losing, trying different strategies. We tried we went through it all, right? And those were those early grind years. Every indicator you can name, I can tell you if it's good or not. Good or not. MACD, stochastics, all that stuff, right? So I ended up quitting my six-figure job to continue to trade. And I was doing like 500 to 1,000 like every day. This was like 10 years ago. I quit my job and then all my confidence went away because now this soft, cushy job, like I was protected, but now I have to make money and I couldn't even make money anymore. So trust me, I can't give you the whole story right now, but I've gone through some ups and downs like, with this trading thing. Now, investing is different. Investing is way, way, way easier. Everybody should be investing. But trading definitely is for somebody who wants to approach it like it's a profession and a business because it is. It's not just some hobby you jump into, right? So I've spent the 20,000 hours. I've gone through those challenging years. I've refined my strategy so amazingly well. This is brilliant. It is. And I'm saying that to myself, but it makes money, right? So I spent those 20,000 hours that they say an expert, right? And it's right. You spend 20,000 hours doing anything. Wow. One of my favorite quotes about Dr. Jawanza Kanjufu. He says, what you do most is what you'll do best. I literally spent all of my 30s trading. I spent a whole decade of my life trying to master something to change the rest of my financial future for the generations to come after me. Right. That really was how I approached it. Right. So head trader at Merrill Lynch was a buddy of mine who taught me a lot. Shout out to Mr. Jones. I'm gonna just say his last name. Amazing guy. Taught me something that nobody could teach me. He was a head trader at Merrill Lynch. So mentoring is important. It's important. I've taught kids, taught advanced folks. I've taught everybody in between. I started with kids in 2011 at the Ron Clark Academy here in Atlanta, Georgia. Did that for a couple semesters. It was super fun. I realized if you can break it down and keep it simple enough for kids. Now, I'm not talking about futures trading, but just investing, right? And they got it. So I'm all about depth and mastery. I think that's really, really key. It's about depth and mastery. You can't simplify something unless you first master it. Think about cooking, right? If you just go in the kitchen, I just give you some random things. You really can't make a simple meal with a whole bunch of random stuff unless you have a mastery first of the culinary arts. All right. So it's my job as somebody who's mastered this to give it to you in a simplified way. But you can't from day one. No, you can't master. Right. So you got to go on that journey. We all go on that journey. You got to get depth. You got to get mastery. Did some events a couple years ago. I was trying to tell everybody Bitcoin was coming down before it came down. I was trying to tell y'all it was coming down. I was trying to tell you. One of my events, some of my closest people to me, love these ladies. We have fun, as you can see at my events. This is me going to my old high school, East Chicago Central. I know this beard is terrible compared to the beard I got now. I don't know what the hell I don't know who was cutting my hair at the time. This beard is terrible. I know it's terrible, but matter of fact, let me turn some music on. Let me turn some music on. So. Okay. Did some events up in Detroit. Shout out to D-Town. Anybody in Midwest? You know, I was born in Gary, Indiana. I don't know if I said that. It's my cousin Joel I was mentioning earlier. Shout outs to Joel. Shout outs to my cuz. Some events here. Once again, I've taught kids, so I have some fun, and I get my audiences up and dancing. We make it fun, right? So back to today. Okay. Back to today. All right, now let me go back. Okay, so that was what I was supposed to do up front. Let me see. No, don't want to go there. Where's number 2? Okay, so once again, I'm gonna just go back real quick. The history, feudalistic Japan. You're fighting. Somebody gets the control of the rice crops. At the end of the day, when all the rice is gone, you have to come to the market to say, hey, I want to buy some rice, but I'll pay for it today. And they're quoting you a futures price. That was a contract. They would write out the price you pay, and they would say, hey, you can come back and get it. Right. So essentially, that really is like what futures are. Right. It's like a contract for something you're going to get in the future. But what are modern day futures? I want to give you one more example before we get to like the money making part, because I know y'all here to like learn about the money making part. I know. But another really good example is this. Let's say you call AT&T for their bundle pack. They give you a quote and say, hey, you can get these 3 services in the future, right? You'll sign up today. If you sign up today, it's $64.99, but you're going to get these services in the future across time. That's also a little simplified version of a futures contract, right? That's a version of it. Now, here's the real ugly version. Here's the really technical, ugly definition. And if I read this to you from the jump, y'all would be like, what the heck is this, Noble? So futures are a derivative. We're going to talk about what derivatives are. They're final contracts, right? That obligate the parties to transact an asset like rice at a predetermined future date and price. So I can say, hey, I want to buy 25 bushels. You're going to say it's $32 each, and I'm going to pay you 20 times 32, whatever that is. I'll have a contract. I can come back a year from now and say, hey, I paid for my rice already. Here's my contract. And they'll just say, cool, give him his rice. Right. The buyer or purchaser, what does it say? The buyer must purchase, or the seller must sell the underlying asset at the set price, regardless of the current market price, right? So that's the thing. I'm locking in a price. If I come back a year and say, hey, I paid for mine, even if the price is way, way, way higher, I don't care. You're going to give me my 32 bushels at the price I paid. Right. So how does this work? With big business, think about this. If you were this brother, right, and you're a farmer, right? If you're a farmer and your main crop is wheat, then guess what? You probably want to make some money off your crop. So somebody has to buy wheat. So if you owned 1,000 acres in Wyoming and like this guy, wheat was your main crop, then guess what? You want somebody to buy it from you. Who's going to buy it from you? Big corporations, companies like Kellogg's actually use the wheat to do what? To make Wheaties and Special K and the stuff that we buy. All right. So you start talking about supply chain, value chain, right? Something creates value for somebody else and they sell it to somebody else and make some more money to sell it to somebody else, right? So there are futures traders that work for Kellogg's who are actually buying these contracts because they just want to get wheat right? Based on, all their information on wheat and the seasonality and weather patterns and historical data, right? They want to buy wheat, but they don't want to buy the wheat when it's expensive. Why? Because they need the wheat to actually arrive, right? So they're going to pay those contracts in this kind of what's called a primary market. It's like, and those corporations actually want this asset delivered, right? So there's corporations who actually want oil delivered. They want wheat delivered, corn delivered, hog delivered, right? So think of like commodities. So that's wheat, right? And then they take the wheat, of course, and then they use it to make a profit, right? They use it to make a profit. So that's what it's all about. And who buys the contracts though? So there's a secondary market where people like me and you, who what are called retail traders, can actually buy these contracts, right? And this is simple. Technically, it's just as simple as buying anything else. You go to your phone or your desktop, your platform, you hit the buy button, you're in the trade. Right? So like the process per se isn't hard. It's just most people with something like this, you just want to make sure you really, really, really understand it and approach the right way. Right. So the difference is I'm not actually trying to get wheat delivered to my house. I just want to make money off of what? The price fluctuations. The price is going up and down. So Apple's prices go up and down. Um, Facebook, PayPal, every corporation you name, based on good things that happen, earnings, mergers and acquisitions, bad stuff that happens. CEO made a dumb decision. They missed earnings, right? Right. Some product comes out that's nowhere near as good as they thought it was going to be, right? That takes prices up and down. Y'all can't see me over here moving my hands so viciously, right? Prices are going up and down. So futures traders, I'm not trying to get wheat delivered to me, but if I traded wheat, it's just something that I can use to just make money. That's all it is. So you got the stock market, you got futures, you got foreign exchange, you got crypto, um, you got options. And that's it. Right? Let me put this up. Man, five. You got those five main things, right? Is that five? I think that's five. So let's keep going. So who trades futures? Technically, anybody who wants to. But if I had to say the benefit, regardless of kind of where you are, because I know a lot of you guys who are probably watching me, you're familiar with me. You've seen me do this a million times. You're probably trading options already, but you're like, what are futures? So here's one thing I want you to know. I think, me personally, if you are going to get into trading, I think you really should try to, you want to master the craft. And um it's not always about winning and making money. What I'm saying right now is I meet people who are like, hey, I trade crypto. And I'm like, what else? And they're like, oh, that's it. I'm like, so that's it? Like you don't know how to trade anything else? Here's what y'all gotta realize. Everything is a chart. Everything you can trade has a chart. Technical analysis is the core. It doesn't matter what the underlying asset is. If you give me a chart, I can show you how to make money. Whether it's futures, foreign exchange, crypto, option. Now, options is a little tricky because the math is not very straightforward, simple with options, right? But if we're talking about making faster money, which I'm going to get to in a second, then you have to be trading options, futures, or foreign exchange. That's why people trade them because of the leverage, because it's faster money than buying 10 shares of Apple waiting 30, 40 years. Most of y'all, don't take this personal, but most people watching me probably just really got excited about the market because of COVID. Because you saw other people making money. You thought it was easy. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't for you. I don't know how your journey's been. But millions of people just really, it kind of clicked. Oh, snap. This market, this option, like, I need to dig in. I need to learn something about this because why? You were at home and you had time. I saw this 10 years ago. Soon as I got the math with it, I was like, oh yeah, they never taught me this in school. Oh my God, what? And I told you that first trade, I made like 670. Literally, I always said $675. It was like 5 minutes. I was like, oh my God. Y'all talk, oh my God. Y'all let the wrong dude. Ooh, you let the wrong dude figure this out. Because I always loved teaching. I knew I was going to teach. I'm always teaching. sharing, expression. That's me. That's who I am. I don't know what I said, but Rosemary was laughing. So, so. Hmm. So let's go here. Um. Oh, that's what I was saying. So everything's in a chart, right? The technical analysis. It's one thing to know Apple is a good stock. I think the whole world knows that it's the most valuable, most powerful, you could say to some degree, company on the planet. But what price should you buy Apple? Should you buy Apple today? Is it going to, all right? Is the trend right now up or down? Should you buy NASDAQ? What about PayPal? Their earnings just came. It just dropped really this low. It's kind of, but is it going to keep going lower or should you buy now? Because everybody says just buy and just hold on for dear life. HODL, just hold on for dear life. We throw out all of this stuff and there's so much bad information about trading out. I feel sorry for people just starting out new. I really do, because there's so much bad information out. It really is. But the beauty of getting into this as a craft, for those who would take it serious as something that literally would be like a new degree that you can't pay for. There's no school that's going to give you a trading degree. It's the school of hard knocks. It's just real life. There's educators and different people you can learn from, but there's no official, and even like the licenses, the Series 6 and 7 and all that stuff. It don't mean you're a good trader. No, that means you can sell products for a firm. Not hating on that. But let's be real. Financial advisors sign up for my classes. Why? Because they didn't learn what I've learned over a really long ebbs and flows, but now really good journey, right? With this trading thing. So let me go back to my slides. I already had them up. So. Who should trade futures? Who trades futures? So there's really kind of two mindsets, right? Two types of investors. We already talked about them. I already kind of gave you the slides, right? So the first one is that person, folks looking to produce or consume the product, right? So that's the corporations. That's that, right? They're looking to hedge against falling prices, right? So that's like big money, corporations, governments. Okay, cool. That's not us. We're the second group. Second group, and I'm gonna make this a little bigger. Second group is investors who are playing the futures market in hopes to turn in a profit, right? So it's simply about prices going up and down. If I'm buying, I want price to go up to make me some money. You can also short futures. If you don't know what shorting futures means, you can make money when things go down. For right now, that's probably as simple as I can make it. I can't walk you through the whole analogy that I usually walk people through. It's dope. It really is dope. I should do it. I might mess up the math though right now off the top. I might mess up the math off the top. Hmm. Um. So. Let me come back here. You can make money in either direction, as with all assets, right? Either direction. And let's see. That's 3. So let's go here. So there's a lot of different types of futures you can trade, right? So think about it like this for a second. There's like thousands of stocks, thousands of ETFs. And if you don't know, ETF is an exchange traded fund. Think of it like this. A stock is like an artist, right? So Jay-Z, he's one company by himself. That's a stock. But if you put Jay-Z on an album with Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole and Nas, and it's all these different rappers all on one album, that's kind of like an ETF. It's a collection of like stocks or different assets put together. It's almost like a portfolio made for you, right? So, for example, NASDAQ. Actually, let's go with Dow Jones. Dow Jones is 30 companies, right? But if you buy that one, if you know the ticker is DIA and you bought DIA every single month, you're investing in all 30 companies, right? It's an aggregate. But it's not just one artist or one company, it's a collection, right? So there are thousands of ETFs, thousands of mutual funds, thousands of stocks. And then as we get to the more expensive, I don't say more expensive, more the things that can make you a little bit more money, there's less, right? So there's only about 70 different futures you can trade. If I start talking about foreign exchange, there's really only 6 currency pairs that foreign exchange traders really are trying to make money on, right? So you don't have to worry about, thousands. There's thousands of futures. Oh my God, what do I trade? My guy Court Big said facts. He's in Atlanta. What's up, Court? Glad to see you on, brother. Always appreciate the support. Um, Oh, then Garnell said I trade futures on Ninja Trader. Ah, very good, very good. We'll talk about different platforms in a second too. So here's the thing. Futures, I used to, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I didn't for a long time really even talk to people about futures because of where I started for whatever reason. I was I started and I was trading like silver. Silver was like $10,000. So I could afford two contracts. I told y'all my dad left me 25,000. I bought a big screen iMac. I wanted one computer and I had the money, but I had prepared. So I was like, wow, God, this is crazy that these things I've been thinking about are like just coming, right? But I used to always tell people if they say, how much money do you need to trade futures? I'd say, like, oh man, you need 20, 30 G's. You don't. That was me. That was what I knew. I started with literally like the most volatile, most expensive future in the world. I didn't really even know. I didn't really know. So what I can say to you now is that there are indexes you can trade that are based on like right that are futures contracts, interest rates, foreign exchange, commodities. So if you look at this list, then let me make this bigger so you can see it. Couple and indexes and there's a micro and a mini. So like some of them are really cheap, like really really cheap, like hundreds of dollars cheap. Right? Just like options contracts, right? If you can't afford 100 shares of Apple, I don't even know what Apple closed at. Let's just say Apple's at 180. It's not at 180, but let's say Apple's at 180. To buy 100 shares is going to cost you $18,000. Oh, that's pricey, right? Most people don't have 18 G's just laying around. But if you know about options contracts, you can leverage, you can borrow. Technically, it's like you kind of borrowing 100 shares, but you're getting them at a really, really, really low price, right? So your contracts might literally be 3, 4, $500, right? And that's why people trade options because it's leverage. It's just faster money because it's letting you play like the big boys, the big girls, like you have a lot more money than you really have. Once again, that's all futures, options, and foreign exchange are leverage products. I can make you a lot more money than you really have because we're allowing you, the market allows you to trade with more buying power. We're going to get into it in just a second. Just a second. I'm going to show you the math. You're going to love this. So you can trade NASDAQ, Dow Jones, the Nikkei 225. That's Japan's version of the Dow. Silver, oil, gold, crude oil, natural gas, corn. I used to love natural gas. I don't trade it anymore. Copper, mini silver, mini natural gas. And whenever you see the minis, those are like the cheaper ones. That's all. That's all. So you don't need 20,000. You don't need 10,000. Mm, I want to say you need at least like 5, but that's debatable too. Mm, I ain't gonna even give you like a specific amount. It's a global market. What does that mean? The Canadian dollar, the euro, Japan, right? Everybody's participating in this global market dealing with futures. Why? Because these are like the commodity products. If a meteor hit Earth and knocked out and killed like half of us, what would we do? We still would go back to the main things that help build our whole society and lifestyle. Cotton, wheat, corn, oil, gold, silver, all those things are going to be valuable forever. There's never going to be a point where people are like, I don't care about gold. Never. All right. Trading. The trading is really flexible too. For some of you guys, you know, I just how do I say this? It's not something that's hard to say or nothing like that. It's not like it's hard to say. I just want you to know that there's more some flexibility. You have some flexibility. So it's not easy, but I did it. I know people who have done it. It depends, right? It's like how badly do you want it? Futures are open basically 24/5. So you can actually trade, you can trade at 3 in the morning. Why? Because that's when Europe opens. I could trade futures right now if I wanted to. Right now. I used to trade at 3 in the morning. Why? Because I had a 9 to 5 like y'all. Like you, I had a 9 to 5. So I would wake up at 3 and trade till like 5 and take my butt back to sleep. I told y'all my very first trade, it was at 3 in the morning. So you don't have to trade like that, but what if you're an early bird? Right? You don't have to trade like 9:30, right? Some of you guys know you work a 9 to 5. You don't have the ability to sit and just trade during the day, but you can trade early in the morning, like that 3 to 5 session. Or you can even trade like 6 to 8. Right. At 9:30 when our market opens, yeah, you get a lot more volume, but the market is still moving. Once again, there are people who are waking up trading. right? Because you're really just trading the open of Europe or the close of Europe's market, which kind of flows into ours, right? So once again, the main point is, I get a lot of students who are like, "Man, how do I make this options thing work? Like, I got this, I got that, I got my kids, I got all these different things. Like, how do I make it work?" Well, with options, it's 9:30 to 4, and then when the market closes, it's closed, right? But this is just another option. That's all it is. It's another option. It's another market that you can start small, you can start big. Either way, start with some education, right? Because it's leveraged, right? And anything leveraged, you can lose money faster as well. That's the risk. I don't have to do a long thing on risk, right? When you're uneducated and don't know what you're doing, you're just losing money a hell of a lot faster, right? Than you should, because you didn't really prepare, right? So, if I had to compare it to stock options for a second, for those of you guys who know kind of how options flow. So, with options, or actually with futures, which is the top part, you can hold overnight. I just told you markets open 24/5, right? I per se wouldn't recommend that. So for me in my head, futures is really like it's primarily a day trading kind of intraday game, but it's really not. Once again, I'm learning to kind of stop giving people just what I did. So yeah, there are cheaper, smaller futures that just like some of the cheaper options contracts. Yeah, you can hold them overnight. You can swing trade. You just got to manage the risks. That's all it is. So it is managing the risk, knowing exactly where you're going to get in and where you're going to get out. And okay, if price comes down here, how much is that? Am I willing to risk that? That's all it is, right? So you can hold overnight. What I think is pretty cool though, different from kind of options trading. With options, you gotta like find something that's moving. You want to like what's volatile, what's moving, what has good volume, like what is giving, what's trending strong and giving me the type of volatility to help me make easy money. With futures, it's built in. So if you trade the ES, which is the S&P 500, you don't really like, you can just literally trade the ES every single day or, 1 or 2 days a week, right? You don't have to like search for something because of the leverage, which I'm gonna get to in a second. It's kind of built in, right? So I love that. I fell in love with that because I'm a simple guy, right? So for a long time, me and Joe, we were just trading silver. Then we started trading the Russell 2000. And at some point, I think we traded gold, oil, we traded a few. But when we did, it was kind of like we traded one thing for like 6 months. Maybe the volume would start dying out. If we couldn't make enough money, we just moved to something else. But we weren't looking at like 18 different futures all at the same time, right? So that was actually really, really great for me. That was great for me. No time decay. What does that mean? So with options, you can buy, you can believe Apple's going to 200. You can buy a contract right now and give it a year. You can buy a contract on Apple, believing that Apple's going to go to 200, right? You can buy a contract a year out, which means Apple could drop. We could go all the way down to 150. And sometime in the next year, start going the other way, right? So you could actually be wrong, but because of the time that options gives you, which is why options are so genius, because of that time, you could still be right, even though technically in the short term you were wrong. Right. So with futures, it's different though. The futures, you don't have that time decay. Like if you're wrong, every tick that is going against you, there's no like it's real realized like you're losing as it goes. So there's no like, oh, just give it time and just relax. Like, right. It's different in that sense. All right. So I traded one future. I wanted to master trading. I wanted to make my computer an ATM. That really was kind of my mindset. Matter of fact, let me play some of these real quick. This was my mindset when I started. I was like, I don't care what it's gonna take.
I'd do anything to win.
I don't care how much I gotta study.
I'd do anything to win.
I don't care how many books I gotta read.
I'd do anything to win.
I don't care how many things with my friends, party stuff on the weekend I have to sacrifice.
I'd do anything to win.
I didn't care. I almost to some degree really early on was like, I don't care what I gotta go through.
I'd do anything to win.
Because I know fundamentally, growing up in Gary, Indiana, I did not grow up seeing people really who were really wealthy, who knew anything about the stock market or trading. And that kind of pisses me off. It pissed me off back then. That was kind of some of the fuel that said, yo, we're gonna do this for life. Right. I really committed. 10 years ago, I'm still here. Wasn't an easy journey. It wasn't overnight, but I can make your journey hell of a lot smoother than mine. If you have that
I'd do anything to win.
type of attitude, right? if you had that type of attitude. And any good trader will tell you this, right? If you're thinking about like, or you are trading right now, here's the thing. You already know. Here's the thing. You either like get in a really, really good community, or maybe you find a mentor. If you don't have those things, then you pay somebody for a class. I pay for classes. It's part of the education. If you don't do that, I see people all the time. In our insider trading room, it's like 30,000 people in the room. So let me pause for a second. Wait, hold on. Let me pause for just a second. Perfect time. Invite you into the community. So depending on where you're watching this, I don't know if you know of insider trading, but it's a group on Facebook. It's super, super dope. A lot of you guys are in the room. You're probably watching this on insider trading. I love it, man. When we started it like 10 years ago, we didn't have nobody in it. It was like zero. It was me and Joel. Right. It's 30,000 strong now. Now that's not all active all day because that would be crazy. But there's thousands of people who, they're paying attention, they're learning. It's an amazing place where a lot of people who look like me and you are making money, learning about making money, learning about getting better, investors, traders, NFTs, crypto, anything you can name. Right. Great community. So if you're on Facebook and you're like, ooh, I would love to be a part of the community, go to the search bar, type in insider trading, and hit the join button. You'll see the gold bars at the top. So yeah, gold bars at the top. So I had to do that for a second. Let me say this real quick, because a lot of people don't know this. Did you know that the futures market actually leads the stock market? So I try to, I just try and drop little gems, right? If you like, oh, I don't know what the market is going to do today. If you have the right type of broker, you actually should wake up and look at futures. Don't look at the stock market. Look at the futures S&P, because that's where the big money is buying. And if the futures is down, then that's already kind of telling you, right? It's the futures market leads the stock market. Most people just know about the stock market, but the futures market leads the stock market. It's like a little inside thing for people who just know. So that's a gem. Write that down. Okay. We got to talk about some margin, math, and money. Do not get lost. Don't get lost right here. Stay with me. Hit y'all with a little bit of math. Just a little bit. It's not nothing crazy. It's literally like arithmetic. It's 5th grade math. Put my Bulls hat on real quick. It's 5th grade math. Don't let the math intimidate you. Don't let it intimidate you. As I do this slow build up. So let's go here. The power of futures. So a couple terms I got to give you real quick, right? So futures is a derivative based product. What does that mean? The value is based on something else. So options is also a derivative based product. What does that mean? If you trade Apple options, you're actually trading Apple. You need an underlying something. So Apple, the stock, the actual company is the underlying asset. Options is just a way to make some really cool money because of all this back end sophisticated calculus. But options by itself is nothing. There's nothing when you say, so you have to say stock options. You actually can trade futures options, right? Okay. Another simple example would be ketchup. Ketchup is a derivative of what? Tomatoes. Wine is a derivative of grapes. There's no such thing as wine. Wine is a process that takes grapes and makes it, right? So that's a derivative. Margin. What is margin? So margin is like money you can borrow from your broker. So I'll give you an example. If you put $50,000 in an account tomorrow with TD Ameritrade, you could actually, once the money settles, you could trade $100,000 in stock. Why? Because they give you a 2-to-1 margin. They say, hey, if you put up 50,000, we'll double it. Why? Why would they do that? Why would they give you a free no interest and there is some interest, but without making it complicated? Why would they give you like a free loan just for putting up some money? Why? Because they want you to make more money. So they want you to trade and make money so they can make money. Why? Because they make money on your commissions and you being around and other products and services that they're going to sell you and you bringing in more people. It's all, it's all just a system. All right. So, and then leverage. What is leverage? So leverage is amplified buying power. Amplified buying power. The best way to really just break down leverage is to just give you this math. So some math is coming. Relax. Let me give you a little something you might remember from one of my favorite shows. We got to talk about math real quick.
You see, look, you gave me too much money back, Roscoe.
I did?
Yes. Hey, go to school. Learn your math because you can't be a millionaire if you can't count to 10.
You're right. I go to school.
That's the funniest thing I ever heard. I found that, y'all. I was so excited. I said, man, I got to put this in. I got to put this in. She told Roscoe, yo, you can't be a millionaire if you can't count to 10. You can't. And this stock, futures, options, crypto, foreign exchange, binary options, it's all financial. It's all just numbers in computers. It's all math. And I can't tell y'all how many times I've been talking to somebody about a class and they like, well, how much math? They're like, how much math is in it though? Like, do I have to learn a lot of math? Y'all, the concepts are complicated to some degree, to some degree, but it's just because it's new and it's foreign. It's a different way of thinking. But the math is like arithmetic. It's like 5th, 6th grade math. So here we go.
Man, let me tell you something.
Oh, that was the wrong one. I got some Martin sounds. Okay, so the S&P. The first thing you need to know about futures is you probably haven't seen the ticker symbol. So, like Apple's ticker symbol is AAPL. The ticker symbol for futures always has a backslash. All right, that's how you know they're distinctly different. You probably haven't even seen one before, right? Backslash ES or the S&P 500, the big broad market 500 of the world's, greatest stocks that virtually every single day we're measuring everything. We're using it as the benchmark, comparing everything to the S&P. Even the VIX, for those of y'all who are a little bit more advanced, you know what the VIX is, the volatility index, how volatile is the market. Even the VIX is based on 30 days forward-looking options contracts on the S&P. Why? Because when stuff gets really crazy, wealthy people start hedging their bets, buying puts. So if tons of puts are being bought, the VIX spikes up. And it's telling you that the market is getting prepared. Really, really smart, wealthy, rich people are getting prepared. They're not about to lose money. They're going to make money when it goes down. So their longer term stuff, right, to offset the losses. It's genius. I say all the time. Once you learn this stuff, y'all, I'm so serious when I say this. You cannot stop somebody from like me from making money. It does not matter whether the economy is good or bad. I don't care. I really don't. Now I care about the people, yeah, right. So of course, I have of course I care about people, of course. But as a trader, I don't care what it is. Just give me a chart. Let me put my tools on it. That's all I care about. I don't care whether it's up or down. It doesn't matter because you can make money in both directions, right? It takes time to get there, really, to be fluid with both sides. And I'll say this too. When you really are a good trader, because we talk about price action all the time, right? Looking at technicals, the charts, for those of y'all who are like, what the heck is price action? It's just price, the action of price, right? There's all these little fun names for candles and patterns and all this stuff people be learning. Throw all that stuff out the window. All you need to be able to understand to be a good trader is that there are people who believe in that stock and people who hate it and want to make money when it comes down. And you really just have to be able to read these candlesticks to be able to kind of understand both sides at the same time. And it takes time. It takes time. So S&P. So this is what I trade every day. Actually, I don't even trade every day because that's a job. I quit my job so I wouldn't have a job. I don't want to trade every day. Some of y'all trade every single day of your life. I feel sorry for you. That's too much pressure. I don't want to have to trade that much. I don't need to. I used to. Nah, I'm good now. I'll trade a couple days. Because if once you get to where you know what you're doing, you don't have to trade every single day, all day. Like you don't. That to me defeats the point for me. For me. So here's the math. Here's the math. So right now, the S&P today, these are Real-time numbers. The S&P closed right around 4,600. The S&P index, right? The index, 4,700. The futures contract actually is a multiple. The leverage, it's leveraged up 50 times. It's more amplified. It's 50 times. So, oh, I did that math wrong. Actually, no, I did it right, but I didn't change that number. So 4,600 times 50. Let me make sure double check real quick. I want to make sure y'all got perfect numbers. 4,600 times 50. Yes, 230,000. Right. So I had that number right. So with one S&P contract, now these are expensive. Yeah. And I told you there's a lot cheaper ways to get into the market. So don't let that 16,000 scare you like, oh, I done watched this whole thing. I watched this whole thing.
I'm not paying that much. That's too expensive.
Right. You like, man.
Silence. I ain't got no money.
Don't worry. You don't have to have $16,000 to trade. This is just an example. The S&P or the ES is the most popular, most widely traded futures. So I'm really giving you like even teaching you by that, right? It's the number one futures. It's the most widely traded across the world, right? It has the most daily volume. Right? You need volume to make money, right? So yes, to hit the button, and get in. And just to make $12.50, you got to have 16,000 in your account. I'm not putting all of that at risk though. No, that's like the cost of doing business. But here's the crazy part. I mentioned that, and if I didn't give you this insight, you'd be like, wow, that's really expensive. That's cheap. That 16 G's is cheap. Why? Because I'm actually controlling with 16,000. I'm controlling $230,000 worth of capital. But they only require, the margin requirement is, if you put up 16,000, we're going to let your 16,000 act like it's 230,000. What? Man. I'm going to relax for a second. I'm going to let that sink in. You put up 16,000. But it's as if it's magic. This market is the most creative thing it's the most amazing thing we've made. I know we love the arts. We love music and science and film and dance, all these creative things. This market, this is, in my opinion, one of the most amazing creative concepts that we have brought to life, and it runs the world. How else can you take 16,000 and act like it's 230,000? You can't. This is it. You want to make a lot of money. I know we all do. It's real estate or investing. That's it. Those are your main options. You got to get in the real estate game. You got to get in this trading game. That's it. How else is your money going to compound, triple, quadruple, compound over time? You can't save your way to retirement. Y'all know this? Let me go to the comments for a second. Let's see. Marcel, somebody laughed. Jessica said, what? Nice. Somebody said, have the algorithms affected your trading? Nah. No. Like for I don't even know, 12 years, And once again, even in those rough years, I still every day, I haven't missed a day. I look at the market every single day. Even if I don't trade, I still will go back and mark up the chart. Literally, even like what I should have done, my system, every single day of my life. And now it's just very normal. It's just lifestyle now. It ain't even special. It's normal, right? So, no, the algorithms, the only thing that really affects my trading is volume. And I actually like volume. It's just faster money. Now, earlier me was learning and couldn't really handle volatility. So when I first started, I told you I was really successful, 500 to 1,000, pretty much like every other day. Natural gas, silver, but I didn't know, there's so much I didn't know. I was trading on my phone. I didn't know how the math worked. It was just so much I didn't know. I just had the balls to take the trades and I had the money. That was really it. And then I got really serious. Why? Because y'all remember that European debt crisis like 10 years ago? That European debt crisis hit, and what I was doing, my strategy, all it was, I'll tell you what I used to do. This is how simple my first strategy was. Bollinger Bands. That was a tool. Write this down if you want to. Don't start doing it, though. Do not do this. I should have put up a little disclaimer. Don't do this, because when you lose some money, it ain't going to be on me. I'm telling you what I did that worked, and I'm going to tell you why it stopped working. I would wake up, look at natural gas before the stock market opened at 9:30. Once again, I told y'all the futures is open at all times anyway, right? So you could trade natural gas right early. If I woke up at like 7 or 8 and price was above this little wiggly line, if it was above the top Bollinger Band, y'all know what I would do? I would just buy, I would short a contract, expecting it to come back down. That was my whole strategy. If I woke up and price was under the band, I would just buy, expecting it to go back up. That was it. And it worked like every other day. It worked. But that was a period of low volatility. And I didn't know that. I didn't know when I started, just happened to be this like really good 6 months of like low volatility. Then the market got really volatile and I started losing every day. And what used to work wasn't working. And it literally took me years to figure it out. I had to get better. I had to read more. I just studied more. You know, I had quit my job. I was depressed for like 6 months. I'm like, I didn't ruin my life. What the hell is this? What the hell? Yeah. How's the market just gonna do this to me? It felt personal. I was mad at God. I was mad at my family. It was a rough 6 months. And then I just had to accept reality. You signed up for this. You signed up for this, bro. You quit your job. You said you want. Okay. Here's the work, right? So let me play this for you real quick. I think this will help. The really good traders and the people who are watching this right now who are like, you know what, I appreciate this. And I know, here's the thing, y'all. I know a lot of you guys, just like me, you're thinking about your family. You're thinking about like, it's not about flossing and flexing. You really are like, I realize that this investing, trading thing is important. It's an avenue. It's an option. It's another stream of income. You spend money with these companies. You're either a consumer or investor. So you either making people money or you're a part of this side. You over here with me, right? You're getting your share. That's really it. There's two sides to America. 45% of Americans don't own one share of anything. 45% with all this technology, with TikTok and Twitter and all this technology. 45% of America does not own one share of anything. But everybody spends money. Everybody buys something that is publicly traded. You can't get around it. You can't not be a part of the stock market. You can't unless you live on a farm somewhere. And even then, where you gonna get the tractor from? Where you gonna get the right? You can't avoid it, right? So. I want to play this really quick. This is a super dope quote. It's about winning. I want to play this really quick because this is honestly the mindset. This is the mindset, and this is an example of like what it takes. So I'm gonna give you a little example of the mindset, and then I'm gonna actually play another little quote. So this is winning. This is Tim Grover, amazing author. He actually trained Michael Jordan. He was Michael Jordan's personal trainer, and he was Kobe Bryant's personal trainer. Check this out. Y'all gonna love this. This is winning.
Winning is not about the trophy and the accolades. It's about the grind. It's about the obstacles. It's about the challenges. It's about the pain that you endure along the way for that 30 seconds of being able to either stand on a platform, be acknowledged by individuals that are close to you. But when that happens, your mind has to immediately shift back because now you felt and tasted something that you could only get through winning. Are you willing to do it again?
Are you willing to do it again? The first three things he said, I'm gonna capture this real quick. I know there's a few more things I want to cover with y'all, but check this out. Let me just go back for a second. I want to grab those first three things he said that are required.
Winning is not about the trophy and the accolades.
No.
It's about the grind.
Grind.
It's about the obstacles.
Obstacles.
It's about the challenges.
Challenges.
It's about the pain.
Pain. Y'all heard that? So I know you want to make money. I know you want to win. I'm here to help you win. This literally is why I do what I do, right? I've gone through a lot. I didn't really have at different parts of my journey. I had kind of, I have ran into people who could help me really just like 2 or 3, honestly. One lady I literally probably I only met once, Kathy Lynn. She's like big in Forex, but I read her, took her stuff, and came back, and me and Joel started chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? 12 years. I could literally name the people that really have influenced me. It's like 5 people across 12 years. 5. Right. But for those of you guys who are either in that journey or thinking about the journey of trading, I'm sorry. It's not some overnight get rich quick, fast. I'm sorry. It's not. It's not. There's going to be some pain. There's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some sacrifice. It's going to be a grind. Just like any other profession. Just like becoming a professional that has the skill set that literally can pay for your lifestyle. I don't care what your job is. You're good enough at it for it to pay for your lifestyle. So if you want trading to pay for your lifestyle, yeah, I know. Crazy amounts of money you can make. Yeah, whoop-de-doo. Oh! But are you ready for the pain that you have to endure? All right, are you ready for that? Because it's a part of the process. You don't get to skip that. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good your mentor is. You just don't skip over that. All right. At best, you know, maybe you learn really, really quick and you have mentor community A, B, and C, but you still gonna make mistakes. You still gonna have a bad day. You mad at your girl, you mad at your guy, you take that trade. You like, oh, why did I take that trade? Because you still mad at her or him, and you walked into trading not really clear, and you didn't realize, oh, wait a minute. If I'm having a bad day over here, it affects my trading. Oh, you didn't know that. You didn't know that. All right. You're one complete person. You can't separate yourself into 5 different. I know some of y'all try to compartmentalize, but trading is going to show you who you really are. All right, it really does. So let's jump back into this, though. Let's jump back. So once again, think about this. Back to the money part. Back to the money. Back to the money. Where's my? Oh. For fun, here's the thing, too. All right. For those who are new, but you're like, no, Noble, I'm right. If you're at the top of your game, you read, you study, you got some perseverance. You just know you're the type of person that will take something like futures or options or anything like in this space serious. Go for it, get it. I don't care who you learn from. It's going to change your life. It really is. There's no adult walking who should not be trading options. And I think if you I know I keep mentioning options. I got an options class coming up too. I actually got both options and futures coming up. I'll tell you about them at the end. But if you really want to be well-rounded and know your craft, mastery and depth, you should know how futures work. You shouldn't be able to trade them if you want to. I can trade futures if I want to. I can wake up and trade options if I want to. I can even trade foreign exchange if I want to. I just don't like foreign exchange. It's just not my cup of tea. Monetary policy. I don't like studying the reports. Futures, it's fun to me. Stock, amazing because you got all the innovation and things I actually use. There's a connection for me, right? But I know all the markets. So, and here's the thing too. At the end of the day, that champion mindset, you got to go through it. But hopefully this will make you feel a little bit better because some of y'all are learning this now. And I have a lot of folks, a lot of students, who are learning it, doing well, adjusting, all of that stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's been such a great 2 years for me. Because all these years ago when I started Limitless and I was able to like have this vision of helping people, I'm really, really, really legit doing it now. Like for real. I got one student, she killed AMC. We had one console. I told her, you got too much stuff. You in like 50 different stocks. You need to specialize in something, slim it down. I need you to get this down to like 5 stocks you love. For some reason, she honed in on the concept of short squeezes. She did a ton of research. I mean, she went in. She sent me a receipt a couple months later. She had made like $350,000 on She had made like $350,000 on an AMC. New trader. All I told her was you all over the board. You got too many stocks. You don't know what this one it does. Simplify, trim it down. All right. Simplify, trim it down. And let's get you going from like level 1. You doing too much. You think you a world's good. You can't even pick good stocks yet. You don't even, right? And she took that to heart. She dove in head first, did a ton of research, knows way more than I could tell you right now about short squeezes, how they happen, all the bet, right? She dug in. 300,000, a couple months. New trader. Now, don't get me wrong. That's a huge story. That's not the average. No. Right, that's like one of my best case studies, right? But she dug in. So if you want to be a champ, here's how champs talk.
I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail.
Ali, man. But that's it. You're going to wrestle with this market. You're going to wrestle with it. You're going to wrestle with it. You have to. It's going to beat you up some days, too. You also can have that Tyson kind of spirit.
But I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable.
You could be him too. You right. I asked a buddy of mine today, 2 days ago. I was like, what's your trading spirit? Like, who are you like when you sit down to trade? Who are you like? Are you Ali, Jordan? Like, who do you emulate? What kind of mindset do you walk into it with? I played a few. He was like, yeah, I think I'm like Tyson. I'm wild with it. Right. I was like, yeah, you are. And he is. Like, he be in trades. He know he shouldn't be in. He just be swinging like Mike. All right. Okay. So back to this. S&P. Here's another thing to keep really simple, right? So when I say it has 50 times the leverage, so let's go back. Let me do a quick review. S&P. 4,600 is what it closed at today, but right, so you're really trading a multiple of 50. So for that $16,000 that you have to put up if you wanted to trade the ES, you're actually controlling $230,000, which also means if I bought or traded 4 contracts, I'm basically trading $1 million worth of value. Just say 250 times 4 is $1 million, right? So you can technically trade with $1 million and you don't even need $1 million. What I'm about to show you in a minute is really going to blow you away. You don't even need 16,000, but you do need some skills. You do need some skills. Let me say that again. You do need some skills. I've met tons of people who get into futures. They start breaking down. Oh, I can go to this broker. Oh, that broker is super cheap, but you don't know what the hell you're doing. So all you're going to do is lose faster. All right. It's not about how cheap the futures are. How good are you? How skilled are you? How disciplined are you? Are you mastering your craft? Or are you just trying to make fast money? All right. And you got to be honest with yourself. Those of you who are just trying to make fast money, I'm sorry, it's not going to last. You'll still be at your job 5 years from now because you didn't approach the right way. Just telling you the truth. You'll still be at whatever job you hate or don't like or whatever you're trying to leave. If you think it's fast, easy money, you will still be at your job. The market is going to hand you your... I've seen it. So with that 50 multiple of 50 value, right? That multiple of 50. Here's all it really is. This is like a let me make this a little bit bigger. All right. So this is just like showing you the active trader screen, like your P&L, right? So this is like an actual trade, little screenshot, right? With just one contract, just one. So if price goes from 38.08 to 38.09, you see that 38.09, it's at $50. So that's it, right? That's the multiple of 50. All right. So you buy one, you can buy one share of, the ETF that basically tracks the S&P. But if it moves just one little tick, you only made a penny. But one tick, with futures, you just made $12.50. All right, so yeah, I'll come back to that. I was thinking about something. Wait, I think I might have. Oh, if you guys have questions, feel free. Oh yeah, you do need skills. Yeah, you need skills. You need skills and you need some patience. Let me play my Kobe real quick.
It's in the moment. So you have to live it. And when you practice those things, you become better at it.
You gotta practice. You only get better with practice. With practice, 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 practice. I need to find Allen Iverson. You know, y'all know that classic Allen Iverson. Practice. Come on, man. We talking about practice. Yeah, practice. Practice. All right. So the math and how it flows, and like, you know, the during the day, right? Like kind of like that day trading, like 9:30 to like 11:30 is like the main, you know, first 2 hours has the most volume. It's the most opportune time for you to trade. I only trade for like an hour a day. Now I'm good enough, and also patient enough. I'm not gonna sit and trade for no 4, 5, 6 hours. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. There's a patience to this. There is. Let's see what else I got on this slide. So, oh, y'all gonna love this too. Okay, so let me pop this up. So, Thinkorswim, right? 16,632 for the contracts, but they give you a 2-to-1 multiplier. What does that mean? If you have a minimum of 15,000 in your account, for those of you guys who are like, yeah, you know, I can pull some money from my IRA or for this or that, you know, you're making good money, whatever, right? Which a lot of you guys are, you know. A lot of people during COVID I've talked to have actually like saved money. You found ways to cut expenses. You know, you like, man, I love being at home. You know, you're saving on gas. You cut off this. You just, you know, you and your wife, you and your spouse, y'all, you know, you figure. I've talked to a lot of couples who are, you know, I love it. I love seeing people figuring out ways to save more money, cutting off stuff you didn't think you needed. Right. So if you have that 15,000 for Thinkorswim, you can actually get what's called a 2-to-1 multiplier. So your contracts don't actually cost you 16,000. They only cost you half of that. And let me say this with a caution, with a big caution. Matter of fact, do I got a sound that'll be? Don't do this. Do not run to Infinity Futures because I'm about to say what I'm about to say. But I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna play this little sound bite. Infinity Futures is one of those brokers that is just, for whatever reason, the margin is way cheaper. So it's crazy to say, but you can trade on Infinity Futures. You can still get that $230,000 in buying power. It only costs you $500. And some of y'all just made in your mind, you just solidified that you're about to try to figure this out on your own. Because you're like, I got $500. Don't do that.
You can't say it, but you know it's true.
And you know it's true. But I don't want you to do that. I do not. Don't run off and do it. This is information. I'm not trying to like give you little gems so you can run off and think you about to be the world's greatest futures trader. No, that's not what this is about. It's not what this is about. Nope, it's not. It's not. Let's see. Oh, this is interactive. Any questions at this point? Any questions? Any questions? I don't have a lot left. I just got a couple slides. We in that rounding it down, you know, coming around third base. We almost home. Any questions? Any questions? Let me know. Let me know. I don't see any popping up. So that's cool. That's cool. So let's kind of recap a little bit. You should know now that futures are just another market. You can trade stock. Most people who are, and think about it like this. If you don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars, you can't trade stock directly. You need options, right? To make as if you could afford hundreds of shares. It's the same with futures. You trade it because you're not rich to get rich, right? Like that's the point, right? And they give you with the margin if you can put up 16,000. Oh, let me say this too. So some of the futures contracts, there's some that are 2,000, you know, some that are 500, some that are 10,000. I think Bitcoin is the most expensive. It's ridiculous. I don't talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is just stupid. Stupid. So you don't have to have 16,000. You don't have to have 10,000. You don't have to have 5,000. There are futures contracts. Now, here's the thing. The bigger they are, the more money you're using. Yeah, the faster you can make money, right? So, right. And there are some that even like the Dow Jones, there's like a mini Dow Jones, right? There's like NASDAQ and there's a mini NASDAQ. That's what I teach my students is, yo, if you don't have the big money yet, cool. Get the system down first. Practice. Once again, y'all, I started this like 10 years ago. And I didn't know it was going to take, I didn't know this journey would be. But I also didn't have anybody that can teach at my level specifically about the technicals. That's really what I specialize in. You give me a chart. I'm doing the same thing on everything. I can show you how to make money on any chart. It does not matter. 1 minute, 5, 4 hour, 2 hour, 10 minute, 3 minute, month. It's all the same. It's math, right? At the core, it's math, right? So how do you get started? Oh, let me see. I think I might have a question. Let's see. So Marcel says, so you're saying do your research first on Infinity Futures? With Infinity Futures, what I'm actually saying is the margin prices are cheaper. You can trade futures on whatever platform, but the prices don't really matter. What matters is, do you know what you're doing? Do you have a system? Do you understand risk to reward? Like it's the craft of it, right? So it's like you can go to a gym, you can go to LA Fitness and play ball. You can go out here on the corner and play ball. Like you can go wherever you want to play ball, but can you play ball? Right? Like that's what matters. Can you actually ball? Right? So I just gave you that because I wanted you to realize that futures isn't like, oh, I wasted my time by watching this because I don't have $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. Right? And some of y'all do. That's the thing. Some of you guys do have that type of money. It's just a larger cushion. I still wouldn't say, oh, you got $50,000. You should start trading like 5 contracts. No, you don't know what you're doing either. You should trade one just like the person who only can really afford one. Right? And once again, practice. So this next class that I got coming up, everything that I'm going to do and teach, y'all grown. But my recommendation is going to be to practice for 6 months. And I'm gonna give them a checklist of some things you should do before I think you should start with live money. Now, let me put a little caveat on that. If it's the cheaper futures, okay. But the ones where you can like literally lose thousands in a day, you gotta approach with caution. Right? So that's what I meant. Great question. Somebody said, what are the main futures you trade? Right now, I only trade one at a time. So right now I'm trading ES. The other one that I love trading is the EMD. It's the S&P Mid Cap 400. It's really fast. But it's almost like if I was in the exact same, and the charts are almost identical. Prices similar, but that's the weird thing. It's like the EMD is more volatile, so I can make money technically faster, but let me get the math right with those two. That's what it is. The EMD is faster, but the prices are kind of like, it's not as, the volume isn't as good. So it's kind of like I never really get the price I want. You know, I put my order, it always kind of just jumps because, right, it's not like very fluid liquidity, which is just really good volume. All right, so right now I just trade the ES, the S&P. Great question. Jessica said, I have an options mind. So how do the contracts work? You said you can lose quickly. So does it eat your contract by the tick if it goes up or down, or share an example? Or maybe this is for class. Yeah. So here's the difference. Great question, Jessica. So let's say you got in a trade and you only want to risk $500 to make 1,000, 2-to-1 risk to reward, right? When price comes down to 500, you should have a stop loss there. Dude, you lost. All right, maybe it's one of the cheaper futures. You're risking $50 to make 100. All right, and that's the thing, right? So think about it in the same way, right? One of the simpler, kind of easier moving futures that does not require 20, 30,000, right? The difference is when you lose that 50, boop, let's say that contract cost you 1,500. You didn't lose your 1,500. You only lost $50. The 1,500 is just for you to get in the game. Whereas with options, if your contract cost you 1,500 and by the end of expiration, you're not there, then you lost your entire 1,500. Right. So I'm never actually putting like $16,000 at risk. No. Right. It's just if the market goes my direction, I'm making money. But if it, right. So to give you an example, I essentially I kind of got two different systems. One is like real relaxed. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of like 1-to-1. I'm risking 1,000 to make 1,000 on every trade. and I'm not really risking 1,000, like, and it rarely, honestly, ever loses. So I say 1-to-1, but it's really not 1-to-1. It's just I give it that type of cushion, and then my more like really, really kind of precise strategy. I'm basically risking 200 to make 1,000. So it's 5-to-1. So I don't have to win a million times all day. I can lose twice, win twice. I'm still good. I can lose twice, win one time, and I'm still good. Right. So, and it took years to figure out how to keep my risk really low and to give myself more opportunities to win during the day. Right. So great question. Dang, I want to mess your name up. I'm gonna just go with the last name, Lachey, Miss Lachey. She said, "Can you paper trade futures?" Yes, definitely can. You probably missed my story at the beginning. You can paper trade futures. Yes, you can. You can paper trade. I recommend you paper trade. Why? Because it's serious, right? And it's I had a consult like 2 weeks ago with an anesthesiologist. They don't just go through grad school and instantly get bodies to work on. No, you got to go through a residency. You got to go through no, you just don't get live bodies. So you shouldn't just jump to a live account with options or futures, in my opinion. You should practice. You should approach it the same way you approach any other profession. But we don't, because it's so easy to just throw some money in an account and start. Right. And that's, it's kind of like the downfall of it all. Jessica said, "Oh, okay, sounds better." Yeah. No problem. She said, "Oh, paper trading futures, that sounds great." Yeah. And once again, I paper traded for 9 months, y'all. 9 months of my time, but I'm here right now. Right now. And here's the sad part. Here's the crazy part. Y'all ain't gonna even believe this. If I had the energy mentally and I was like that hungry for it, I could sit and trade all day. I could legit make like $20,000 a day right now. So trust me when I say futures is one of those markets that if you're thinking like me and you're just like, I see this as an opportunity for something long term. I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight, but once again, you commit yourself, apply yourself. Yeah. Yeah, the market is going to be here. And you'll be able to, if you can trade futures or foreign exchange, you really can trade. And I hate to say this, I don't want to offend none of the options traders. I don't, but I'm going to say it. Options to me in a way really ain't trading because of the time. You can be wrong and still be right if you give it enough time. With options and with foreign exchange and futures, you have to know what you're doing. You have to have better technical skills because you can't just relax and give you can't just be like, "Oh, it's going to come back." You can't do that. Why? You could blow a whole account and you're using leverage. So you're using leverage. Let's see. Somebody said, "What are your thoughts on trading ZB? And what's the risk to reward on your ES strategy?" Thank you. ZB, let me look at ZB real quick. I think, what is ZB? ZB's, I don't trade ZB. So let me first of all say that I've never traded it. Oh, yeah, I see why. This chart is ugly. Yeah, I would never trade this. Anybody trading ZB is crazy. It's 31.25 a tick. The contracts. Let me take that back. So I just looked it up on Thinkorswim because I got my platform up at all times, right? So on Thinkorswim, it's 31.25 a tick. It's the 30-year U.S. Treasury bond. The contracts are 4,000, right? So a lot cheaper than a lot cheaper. Let me just look at the day chart real quick. So here's the thing. You could trade anything, right? I just have me personally, I have some very specific things that I will and won't trade. I would never trade ZB. That's me. I don't like the liquidity. The chart looks too. It's one. Honestly, you know what? Anybody, take this with a grain of salt. If you hear somebody talking about something like ZB, they're probably putting a lot of contracts on, trying to get a real small move to make a lot of money. Because you go over to Infinity Futures or something real cheap, and you throw on 10 contracts. Yeah, you can make $3,000 in 5 minutes, but you can also lose $3,000 in 5 minutes too. So I don't really like ones like that have a really high tick value with low liquidity. It's not the right mix of what you want. You want low tick value with good liquidity, right? So it can move. You don't want something that's super expensive that doesn't really. So that's just me. That's me. It's noble. That's me. Jessica said, "Can you trade futures in a cash account or only a margin account?" Maybe you went over this already. Yeah, I think with Thinkorswim, you have to apply for like the futures. You have to have a margin account. I don't know. I mean, it's been so. I mean, you think about it. Like I opened my account a decade ago, right? So I don't know. I think you have to have a lot of cash, or most people are using the margin accounts. Oh, bonds. Yeah, somebody said bonds. Okay, cool. Bonds. Okay, so how do you get started? How do you get started? How do you get started? An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. One of my favorite quotes, I've used this for years. I use this with my kids. I use this with everybody. But I think it really, it's a sound principle from Benjamin Franklin. What can you learn or do without first investing in knowing how to do it? All right. Let me see. Oh, somebody asked me, can we get a live showing, opening and closing one? I mean, yeah, I can. I didn't plan on doing that. Find some cheap future just to get in right now, live in front of y'all. Okay, all right, I'll do that too. Matter of fact, let me do that real quick. Let me just show you the real market. I'm going off script. Great question. Let me just pull it up. Give me a second. Where is my? Oh, I gotta detach that. So let's look real quick, real quick. Live, real market right now. Not a slide. Actual market right now. Okay. So let's go to what's a cheap boy? What's a cheap one? Cause I ain't about to hop on. For. Oh, and these are all the ones you can trade. Some are like $420, 1,000, 850, or 2,000, 4,000. All different types. What is that mini? Hold on. Let me find. What is the mini? What's the micro Russell? Not the RTY. I forget the name. Hold on. Gotta find one of my micros. Where we at? RTY, no, that's the mini Russell. I want the micros though. Where's the little baby ones? Cheap joints. M&Q. Let's see it. What is M&Q? We'll go to a 1 minute chart. So this is right now. Currently. Right now. Let me see. How much is this? Oh, it's 50 cents. So these contracts are $2,000. The tick value is 50 cents. All right. So I'm going to buy one. If I hit buy market, I'm making money if it goes up. If I hit sell, I'm selling, I'm shorting, I'm making money when it goes down. All right. Pop some on for a second. Okay. Trend is down. All right. So let's do it. Oh, I don't have my what's the name on. Hold on. So I'm actually in. I'm down $1. Profit loss open. There we go. And then I want to move that up a little bit. Okay. So now you can see this. So I'm in an actual trade. All right. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, okay, I should have this risk to reward. I should have some sort of strategy behind what I'm doing. How much am I risking? I just got in a trade. All right. Now I'm at zero. How much am I trying to make? I don't know. All right, dancing around. All right. So I'm going to put my stop at $5. All right. So I can't lose any more than $5. So this trade, right? The contract, I needed $2,194 just to enter the trade. All right. And if it drops and it comes back down to this low, then let's see, that would be $12. Okay, cool. $12. All right. So at worst, manage trade. Every time I enter a trade, I know how much I'm trying to make. I know how much how much I will lose. This is math. This is like business. A good business owner knows their business. How much money did you make this month? What's your target for next year, for next month? Okay, bam, I'm up $1.50 now. So I can drag this stop and bring it down. Now it's sitting at $1, so I've locked in $1. Look at that. Now I'm up $2. Okay, so it popped back up real fast. Got me out at 0. So I didn't make no money. Actually, I paid $3 for the commission. All right, so cheap future, little cheap joint. Hopefully that was helpful. Let's see. Somebody said, "What's your favorite time frame to trade from?" Intraday. So I use multiple time frames. So technically, I'm trading off of the 1, the 5, and the 15. It's genius what I do. I ain't gonna lie. And it took 11 years, right? It's literally all of my time learning, building. Take that one thing out, changing. Ooh. But when you get to the multiple time frames, like if you can look at the 5-minute and know what the 1 is doing, and the 15 and the hour, then you're advanced. That just takes time. All right. So I could talk about time frames for like literally 2 hours, but y'all don't have 2 hours. Y'all don't have 2 hours for me. So let me come back to this. Okay, so best investment. Best investment is a course. The other thing I would say really quick before I tell you guys just about the class that I have, if you're thinking about signing up, cool. If not, that's cool too. If you just learned something tonight that futures is another option, do your research, all that stuff. Like, once again. But for those who I know, and I know there are some people who are like, I have the money, discipline, time, and kind of with just people like me 10 years ago who were like, I know I can do this and I'll do the work. Not to get rich fast, people. Y'all go find somebody else. I ain't $1,000 a day. You ain't gonna never hear me promise you're gonna make $1,000 a day. You also can lose $1,000 a day if you're not disciplined, don't have a good system, yada yada yada. Right. So I don't do that. I don't try to sell y'all on the money. No. All right. I don't. The other thing I would say about this class too, this is kind of weird, but I probably should have just called this like advanced professional technicals on some degree. Because what I do, I can do it on anything. Like it doesn't have to be futures. I just fell in love with futures, right? But I could just as easily tomorrow trade foreign exchange, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. All right, so it's really just a more advanced view of the market, and the market's based on math, right? It's based on math. Everything with the market is based on math. So I'm gonna just throw it out there and go straight to it. I ain't gonna give you some long pitch. If you're like Noble, I really love how you teach. I love what we talked about today. Then I got a live 7-week futures and options course. The options class is only $749. Both of them are about 40 hours of content. Let's see. The futures class, I'm gonna just start with real quick. The futures class, we meet every Wednesday starting February 23rd. We go for 7 weeks. You get a 2-hour lecture on Wednesday. Thursday, I drop a couple videos, pre-recorded videos, supplemental, and then on Saturday we pull up to basically have what I call office hours. Right? You're going to get several quizzes along the way. You're going to get like a final exam to make sure you learned what you should have learned in this class. A lot of educators don't even quiz y'all. How you going to sign up for these expensive classes? There's no way to check what you know. It's just like you watch somebody for 3-4 weeks and just whoop-de-doo, go ahead and start trading. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. It really is. It's hands-on teaching. You get access to me. All right. Proven systems. I can show you better than tell you. A lot of it, probably, I don't know if it's 75, maybe like 65% of my courses really are the technical skills. Why? Because most people are like, no, I don't know when to get in and when to get out. That's a technical thing. Now, the discipline to get out when you say you should get out and not get greedy, that's another piece of trading, right? So we talk about the psychology, the mindset. Y'all can see I'm not going to promise you some overnight riches. I just don't. I'm not that dude. All right. And there's a lot of educators that do that, and they do really well. They do really well from just promising y'all all this easy money. And it doesn't work that way. Just like any other thing you learn and want to do and make it a profession, right? So, or even if you just like, man, I would love to learn just to learn. Some of y'all should just sign up because you want to learn more. And I guarantee you can't take this class with me and not become a better trader, period. period. Right. Saturday office hours, precise entries, exits. I got a really, really precise system. It's really precise. I can literally show you every single trade. I can go back over a day that I didn't trade and tell you exactly how many times I would have won or lost, because what I do, what I've learned to do is very, very precise. Options is a little different. Because options, the money, the way the math works with options, it's a little. And I'm as precise as I can be in my options class. It's very precise still, but futures, ooh, it's like to the penny, to the tick, precise. Precision. It's very, very precise. Let's see. Oh, starts so the options class starts on February 22nd on a Tuesday, and then I teach the futures class on Wednesday. Tuesday and Wednesday. The futures class is $1,499. That is so ridiculously cheap. I'm gonna be real with y'all. It should easily be $7,000 class. Easy. I'm gonna raise the price later. I like doing these live. This is my second live course. I kind of do these lives almost as like pilots to really figure out the best way to teach it. I'll do 2 or 3 pilots. Then I'll actually put out like the more premium online class. So this is actually this is probably going to be my last live futures and options course. Because I'm just kind of moving different with my business. So you're not gonna beat the price for the information. It's $14.99. The options class is $749. If you want to take both, amazing deal. It's only $19.97. So it's basically like a G each for something that literally took me 12 years to learn. You're not gonna learn it overnight, but I promise you, it would be very, very hard for you to find somebody more experienced. It really would. Let's see. What was the question? Oh, start date to sign up and deadline. So I pretty much let people sign up until the sign up date, which is February 23rd. And then I give you a couple different payment options. You don't have to pay all at the same time. I think I let you break it up into 2 payments. So it's either the $14.99 or you can break it up into 2 payments. Same thing on the bundle. If you want to do both at the same time, that's cool too. Somebody said, show us your indicators. Let us see your real chart. No, why would I do that? You think I'm gonna just freely show you what took me 11? You think you could walk in Chick-fil-A and be like, yo, how do you make your special sauce? I'm not gonna give you my special sauce for free. No, who would? Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Garnell. Right? And let me be real. And so I'm being a little facetious. I'm being dead serious. But here's the thing too. If I showed you my technicals, you would look at them and say, oh, he uses this, this, and this, and you would run off and think you knew what I teach. You don't. So I actually would be doing you a really, really big disservice if I showed you what I do, because I already know. I've done it. I've been in this. I know how it works. We watch somebody trade who we believe is successful. You kind of try to see what they're doing, and then you want to go and apply it. Once again, it would take you 40 hours to learn my system, and that's for a reason. It's because I delicately, slowly go step by step. Like it's building blocks. It's building blocks. It's not just the indicators. It's a deeper fundamental understanding of price. It really is. All right. Oh, yeah. So somebody said, are the videos available after the 7 weeks? Yes. You actually have them a minimum for a year. And actually what I'm going to do, because I like treating my people good. You're also going to get like you can get a little merch. Always send my folks my last options class. I haven't sent it out yet, but I got a little merch coming, a little something coming for them. And what else was I gonna say? A little merch coming. And oh yeah. The folks who sign up for this futures class, when I do the like final digital version, you'll get access to that class too. And it'll be better. It's just gonna have the bells and whistles, all of those study guides. It'll be different. It'll be, souped up a little bit, but the same core information. So I'll make sure you get that as well. Garnell said $1,500 for talking and playing music. No, $1,500 for the ability to do what literally 99% of the people can't. I wouldn't have quit. You think I would have quit $112,000 a year job to like not be able to make that in a month? Why would I do that? All right, no, you're talking to somebody who spent the 20,000 hours, who can help you to trade anything better, period. And I wouldn't say it like to be cocky, like it's just the time. I spent the time, right? So if playing music doesn't, that's not you, guess what? I'm not for you. So go find somebody for you. Respectfully, right? It's just, that's not the match. I'm not for you. Go find whoever works for you. Because you're going to come back to me anyway. When one of those trash classes, because there's a lot of bad futures classes. It really is. It is. So, yeah, Rosemary said it. You have other options. Dawn said, "Oh wow, it's cool. These are my people. It's cool. What's his name? Garnell. It's cool. Totally cool, bro. Totally cool. Once again, whoever connects to me, my style, my flow, cool. If I'm not for you, it's not for you. That's all. And I want you to be successful either way. I do. I really do. Let's see. Don said, respectfully, I took his options course, and what you've seen doesn't scratch the surface of the depth his courses offer. Yeah. Jessica said, great video. Jessica, you always spelling my name wrong. Why you always spell my name wrong? It's Noble, not Nobel. Anyway, she said, I learned so much in your options course. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. I mean, once again, it happens. I ain't getting rah-rah. Y'all know. So let me see. Do I have anything else left for this one? No. Let me do this. Let me show y'all this real quick. So I also want you to do this. Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Let me find it. So there we go. Limitlessclass.com is the website. So feel free to go to limitlessclass.com. I don't have my calendar up right now. When I start new classes, I kind of slow down on my one-on-one consults. I'll have the calendar up again soon. I just got to figure out kind of how I want to play with these two new classes. So feel free to check around, browse around on the website. YouTube channel is Being Noble. This video will be there. Go back, watch this video, watch some other videos. There's I don't have a ton because I literally spend most of my time actually trading and teaching. I'm just now really kind of getting on my real like content, pushing the business thing. But there's a lot of content that is on the website too. So feel free to check those out. Oh, Jessica said bad spelling. I apologize. No, it's cool. I know. Jessica, I know. So let's see. So that's about it. That is about it. And because I love music, I'm going to play my music. I think education should be fun. I do. I want to use all the tools. I want to use culture, music, I like having fun. I couldn't sit here and listen to me for an hour and 48 minutes, and just be like boring and stuffy. I could have hit y'all with math and hit you with a real MBA perspective. No, why would I do that? Because I taught kids first, right? And we have plenty of time to get deep in my courses. That's the point. That's why the courses are so long. What do you think I'm gonna do for 40 hours? 40 hours of content? What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna teach. That's a lot of content. It's a lot of time. So that's about it. Thanks for joining me, man. I appreciate you guys as always. Let me see. I got a few people. Somebody said, what's your YouTube channel? It's Being Noble. B-E-I-N-G, like being, like I'm just being me, which I am at all times, just being me. So it's Being Noble. Let's see. Somebody said, maybe you want to go watch Martin. Yeah, I love Martin. No, I'm just trying to bring it to life a little bit. That's all. Can you give the option schedule again? Yeah, if you go to the website, just go to limitlessclass.com. February 22nd, the options class starts. Tuesday and Saturday are classes. Then there's a digital drop on Thursday. Futures Wednesday and Saturday. 7 weeks both. Now let's see. Crystal said, thanks for your time. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Somebody said, appreciate all you do, bro. Oh, I know who that is. Noble taught me. Yeah, I know who that is. Somebody said, Garnell said, okay, I'll do your options. Garnell, man, hey, if I am the guy for you, man, no pressure. No pressure at all. Like, I'm so serious. But, I enjoy what I do. I think I try to do it at the highest quality level. To the degree that I got 2 people right now that I'm paying to go through my courses, and they're going to reorganize everything. To educators, I'm not an educator. I got an MBA in marketing, right? But I want my classes to be literally like college professional level. You know, I really want the education to be there. I don't care who you learn from. I don't care how much money they make. Can they teach? Or are they humble enough to hire educators, teachers with masters in curriculum development to go through all of their, you know, content to help them to make it even better so that you learn faster. That's all it is. So I appreciate you, bro. Somebody said appreciate your time. You could have been making some money. No, I don't want to trade. I don't trade this late. I trade for an hour. 9:30, maybe 11, maybe, you know, some days you got to go a little longer, but I just try not to force it. That's all. Right? No need to force it. Dre, what you say? I know a place he might like. Help a call. Good Lord. Dre, you crazy. Just because I believe it helps me to digest the info. Love the new tools you have. Thank you. Yeah, you know. I can't lie. This little soundboard, I see people using it on, you know, I see people using it on YouTube. So I was like, oh, some people may not like this because we take trading to be very serious. And I get serious in class, but this is just a free, you know. So I'm going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun. I love to laugh. We're going to have some fun. Henry said, thanks for everything. Yeah, man, no problem. Somebody said, thank you. I'll probably see you on the next live. Dope. Let me see. What else I got right quick? What else I got? I got anything else? No. Nope. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so same way people know, some of you guys know about the market. Somebody says see you in class. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, if you guys have any questions too. Hi, Magneto. Yeah, Magneto. You know, boy. If you have any questions, you can feel free to write me. My email is noble@limitlessclass.com. Noble, my name, @limitlessclass.com. Or just DM me on, you know, I'm a real person. I ain't running from your questions. I can answer anything. Would a market drop in March? I can say this. Right now, the market's in a very uncomfortable position. We need a major increase of volatility for the bulls to take the market back over, or otherwise, yeah, this might actually be like another like little double dip. Yeah. We're trying. Market's trying. Last like 4 or 5 days, NASDAQ really hasn't gone anywhere. It gapped up a little bit today. We had inside candles inside like the last 3-4 days. The market literally, when you have an inside day and an inside day and an inside day, it's like everybody's like this. Oh, should I trade? Oh, should I trade? Oh, you gonna trade? No, you gonna trade? You gonna, right? So the market's real sensitive right now. And guess what? You don't have to force it. You don't have to trade. You don't have to trade right now. You don't have to, like, I'm telling you, I'll be begging y'all to stop trading every day. You trying to force them. You can't make the market move. Still haven't dropped 20% yet, bro. Nope. We dropped like 18%. Little pullback. So once again, technical skills. So closing bell. That's it. Y'all should know that noise. You should fall in love with that noise. Opening and closing bell. Thanks for watching. As I always say, share this video with somebody that you know and that you love who needs to just seriously learn and start thinking a bit more about what the markets can do for their family, for themselves. You got to be investing. I don't care if you ever trade futures. I do think every adult who spends money should learn how to trade options. I don't care who you learn it from. But I can tell you, you have to be an investor. You have to. You cannot use Google, Apple, Facebook, and not own these companies and get your share. You can't. So do yourself a favor. I don't care whose class it is. You have to start investing. If you haven't started and this is the year, make sure this is the year. Commit to it. I'll even tell you what to do. The simplest strategy. One of the best things you can do. Best ETF, when I said that collection of stocks, NASDAQ over the last 20 something years, it's literally beat everything. It beats the S&P. It beats all the fund managers. It beats these people who have teams of analysts. Very, very little beats NASDAQ because it's 100 of the best stocks. If you didn't know nothing else, you can check this yourself, do the research, buy some NASDAQ every month. It's just like paying your mortgage. You're building equity in something. Why? Because over the last 25 years, it's had the highest, it's averaged like 25% a year over the last 12 years. We go back 20, it's probably a little bit lower, but it's amazing. You're investing in the best companies in the world. Don't make this real complicated. Trading's complicated. Trading's more sophisticated. Investing, you just need to be putting something in the market. You do. They've made it really easy. Even if you like, man, I can't do nothing but put $50 a month in. Great. Put $50 a month in. Right? Fractional shares let you invest based on the dollar amount. Apple's a $176 stock. You can buy $10 worth of Apple, just like how you go to the gas pump. Right? You be like, yo, give me 10 on, man. Give me 15 on pump 10. Nobody says like, yo, give me 6.5 gallons. You have no idea how many gallons of gas you get. You know the dollar amount. You can buy stock the same way. It's called fractional investing. Start your kids with this stuff. And let me say this last thing too before I go. I'm gonna play my other music. I love this beat though. Oh, that's the wrong one. That was the wrong sound. Kids class. This summer, I'm gonna work on a kids options class. If you got high school students, the problem with most of us is we didn't learn how to trade options in high school. And we should have. So I'm gonna make damn sure this year I get that started. You got high school students, a nephew, a cousin, somebody, stay on the lookout. The funny thing is, I'm really teaching them the same thing I teach adults. I just got to break it down a little differently for kids. Get them ready. Get that mindset ready. So, thanks for watching. I'm out. Share this with somebody that you know and that you love. Limitlessclass.com is the website. Being Noble is the YouTube page. Talk to y'all later. Peace. Thanks for watching.